I'm Dan with DillSergeant.com, and before I was a man, I cleaned my gun with rags. Now, I use a TekMat. Let me tell you about the TekMats. I, like probably most of you, enjoy shooting, but the thing I don't really like is cleaning my gun. Luckily, I've got a TekMat that makes it a little bit easier and also a little bit more enjoyable. So, first of all, the great thing about a TekMat, as you can see, we'll get rid of this, is it fits the rifle perfectly. I have plenty of room on my workbench. It covers and protects my nice, this is a nice workbench here, you can see. I don't want to get CLP and gun cleaning chemicals and oil all over it, so I've got my TekMat that's going to protect it. With the TekMat, what you get is it's a vulcanized rubber, so it's extremely durable. It's going to hold up to any sort of chemicals that you throw on there. And it's actually a considerably thick backing. So that's gonna hold up well, and more importantly, it's gonna protect my workbench from all the chemicals that I use on my gun. And believe me, when I clean my guns, I get pretty sloppy. I love this stuff right here. This is break-free CLP. I've used a bunch of different kinds, doesn't matter. I like the aerosol stuff in combination with a few other chemicals, just because this, I can spray it down the barrel. I can really soak the gun, almost like I just bathed it in it. And then I don't have to, as long as I've got my TekMat underneath the gun, I'm fine. So the other great thing is, in case I forget where a part goes, which never happens, but in case it did happen, I know right where to place it. So once I get the gun apart and I put it back together, all those parts that are left over, they're not for another gun. They're supposed to go back into this one, and this tells me where they go. So the diagram's helpful in that regard. For the most part, if you're just doing a basic field strip and clean, I can do that in my sleep. But if I'm going to get down into the trigger assembly, or really disassemble the bolt carrier assembly or something where I have to break out some extra tools, then it's really helpful to have the TekMat. So, and that takes me into the next thing I want to talk about, is the way these TekMats are designed is the printing on top of it. It's a dye sublimation process. I like big, cool sounding words, but let me tell you, and this is actually kind of a cool printing technique, but basically the ink goes on as a powder, and then they heat it up really hot, and sublimation is the process of a solid going to a gas, for those who don't know their chemistry well enough. And then it sublimates. So you instantly turn that ink into a gas, and it fuses into the fibers. And this is actually a white mat with black printed on it. So what that means is no matter what I do, this white isn't going to come off. That's the mat. I don't have to worry about the lines fading or anything like that. And once it gets dirty, because it is a polyester, it's not going to hold on to those chemicals the way that other fiber materials might. So I can use a little bit of dish detergent, some soapy water, put it on the mat, rub it around, rinse it off, and the mat's looking like new again. So that's the TekMat. And the other thing too, like I said, is you don't have to worry about getting chemicals on it or whatever. It's going to stand up just fine. It's going to keep anything from getting through to the table underneath it. And like I said, because it's a vulcanized rubber, it's not some cheap film material. It's going to hold up just fine. In fact, there are some other mats on the market that have, you look at it and it's got quite a bit of padding, which is nice, the soft material up top. But the thing I don't like about it, as I'm using my bore brushes, it tends to pick up this material really easily, and then I end up sending that through my gun. So when I'm done cleaning my gun, it's still dirty. It's got all these, these black fibers in it that come out really easy. And then the other thing too is the backing on it's so thin, and it's not very durable. In fact, they even have a nice little warning here that basically says, cleaning fluids may destroy this mat, so use at your own risk. I don't trust a cleaning mat that I can't use cleaning chemicals on. That's why I trust the TekMat. Another great thing about the TekMat is it's real easy to take with you. It's nice and portable. So one thing, whenever I'm, a lot of the time when I go out to the range, I'm just going out to kind of a big open area and I'm shooting off the back of my truck. So instead of setting my gun down right on the on the back of the tailgate of my truck, or maybe on the hood of your vehicle or something where you could scratch up the hood, ding your firearm, let it slide off or whatever, I'll take a TekMat with me. These can roll up nice and compact, put it in your range bag. It's really portable, so it's great to take with you. And then when you're ready to clean your gun, you bring it back, put it on your bench, and unroll it. This is the rifle mat size. It's 12 by 36, so it's plenty big for just about anything that you have. The other thing I like about it too is it's not so big that I feel like I've got to have a huge workbench. So this works really good for somebody that doesn't have a big workbench, which is a lot of us. And then also there's a handgun cleaning mat size, and that one's 11 by 17. So that's going to be plenty big for even your full-size pistols or handguns. So that's the TekMat. There's over 40 different designs, so there's most likely something for your firearm, and you can find them all on dealsergeant.com. Be sure to take a look at some of our other videos of products and reviews that we've done, tips and tutorials. You can like us, share us, whatever that means, and we'll see you at dealsergeant.com. Thanks, and happy cleaning.